What's up, guys? JV2017 here, and basically, this is my Primal Spirit Force Mage guide, and this is a Black Emporium. The reason I'm here is because I just bought myself a potion that would be the Maker's Sai, and that resets all of my stats. And also, the Black Emporium is obviously DLC, and it came free with the game if you got it Special Edition, I believe, which technically isn't free, but. Also, you can get a Mabari Warhound here, which is very cool. That's why this DLC is pretty nice. So basically, without further ado, we'll take that potion and reset all of our stats. So basically, I am level 4, but that's not a huge deal because I can still show you all the abilities you'll be able to get because I've mapped them out for myself to share with you guys. And so we're going to start with the attributes. So the two main attributes we're going to be concerning ourselves with because we are a mage, or going to be a mage, is magic and willpower. So magic directly influences your damage for spells, and of course that's probably the most important. And willpower is basically just your mana pool. It increases your mana so you have more options and spells to cast without running out of mana. So basically, throughout your levels, you're just gonna wanna balance these out, and that's really I would say the main kind of path you're gonna want to take if you're on normal or casual. But if you're on the higher difficulties, such as Nightmare, of course, you're definitely gonna want to worry about Constitution. And even on the normal difficulty, some battles are pretty tough, so you're gonna want to put some points into Constitution, but don't put as many points as you do put into magic and willpower because, as a mage, you have abilities that will help you with that survivability. So basically, right here, I'm just gonna balance these out. Basically, you're just gonna want to keep magic and willpower at all times, above everything else. And also, some people say you want to put points in dexterity and cunning, but I really think that's a waste, to be honest, because you could put those points into magic and increase your spell damage, or increase your mana pool, or of course increase your health. So on to the abilities. So of course the name of this mage is a Primal Spirit Force Mage, and so I've basically mapped out all of the abilities from 1 to 20, and I do it at 20 because I finished the game in my first playthrough at 20. I think it's a nice gauge on what you'll be able to pick as far as that. So, first of all, when you start out as a mage, every mage is automatically given Mind Blast. So we'll go ahead and stick our point in there. Excuse me. And so at level 2, we're going to get Spirit Bolt. And also for the upgrades, guys, like Spirit Strike, for example, I'm not going to be explaining them. They just upgrade, the main mechanics of the main spell. So I'll just say upgrade this because I already recorded this and it took way too long. So level 2, you're going to want to get Spirit Bolt, which Spirit Bolt is very unique and special because it only has a 10-second cooldown, which is one of the fastest basic spell attacks in the game as far as cooldown. So it's also got decent damage and low mana cost, and that decreases with the upgrade. So level 2, Spirit Bolt. Then at level 3, we're going to go over to our Primal Tree and get Stone Fist, which is another basic attack with a high physical damage, low mana, and a 15-second cooldown. So you can kind of switch it up, of course, from Spirit Bolt for the cooldown. So at level 4, we're going to go back over to our Arcane Tree and upgrade Mind Blast. And the reason you want to upgrade it is just because it's going to switch here. Sorry. Let me go back to my abilities. The reason you're going to want to upgrade this is because, of course, it just increases Mind Blast. I forgot to go over that. That just basically, a certain radius of 8 meters reduces the threat because mages cause a lot of threat with their high damage attacks. And with this upgrade, actually it doesn't upgrade the stun chance, but it upgrades the force. So, very nice. And at level 5, we're going to go to our Spirit Tree. And you can either get Death Siphon or Dispel Magic. They're both very useful, but I don't like to reserve 20% of my mana to gain more mana from corpses. So I would definitely go with Dispel Magic because it interrupts enemy spell casting, removes hostile magical effects and disables magical abilities, sustained magical abilities. And it's not too much mana, low cooldown. It's just very nice, and the size is not that big, to be honest. But it's very nice if if you really need it and there's a caster that's really getting on you. So at level 6, we're going to go back to our Primal tree and get Rock Armor, which increases your armor by 25% and only reserves 20% of your mana. I really like this. The animation is really cool. It's just rock surrounding you in kind of a shell, like it says, and increased armor just helps this mage's survivability, and that's really, 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 really important for a mage because mages go down pretty easily. So level 7, we're going to go back over to our arcane tree and pick up Crushing Prison, which causes a huge amount of physical damage. As you can tell, it's almost more than double the Stone Fist physical damage, and reduces enemy attack speed and movement speed. But it's got a 30-second cooldown and 30 mana cost, but at the same time, it's very, very, very damaging. So now at level 7, that was level 7, but at level 7 you could pick a specialization point. And this is, again, a Primal Spirit Force Mage, so we're going to be putting our specialization into Force Mage at level 7. So at level 8, you're going to actually want to go in there and pick up the ability Fist of the Maker. And this causes physical damage, but also reduces enemy armor to 0%, so no armor, and has a stun chance and a nice size of 6 meters and pretty low cooldown, high cost of mana, but that really won't be a problem when we get our willpower pretty high in the upper levels. So level 9, we're going to go back up to Spirit and upgrade it to Spirit Strike. Once again, I'm not going to be going over the upgrades, but it just increases damage and things of that nature. So now we're going to go over to level 10 at the Arcane Tree and upgrade our Crushing Prison to Paralyzing Prison. Once again, upgrades damage and also brings in that Staggered Warrior feature, which is very nice. So you can combine the Stagger ability of the Warrior with the Crushing Prison, and it'll cause massive damage. Same with the Spirit Strike with Rogues. If Rogues disorient a target, hit them with a Spirit Strike and you'll get that extra damage bonus. So now we're going to go back over to Force Mage and pick up Telekinetic Burst at level, I want to say, yeah, this is level 11. So this basically is just like a wave of telekinetic force that blasts enemies away from you. And it's 6 meters of size, and that force is huge, times 20. So nice ability to have for a mage, of course. And now we're at level 12. We've already finished up our Spirit tree. We're not going to be putting any more points into Spirit, but we're going to go into our Primal tree. And at level 12, we'll pick up Chain Lightning. And this attack is very nice. I like the whole arcing thing. So you use this ability and then arcs twice, I think. So it has the ability to hit 3 enemies and cause that 82 electrical damage. And it even has a radius. So if there's multiple enemies in there, they get affected too, I believe, if that makes sense. So now we're going to go back. And right now we're just flip-flopping between Force and Primal because those are the 2 trees that we're going to be putting points in for the rest of this build. So level 13, we're going to get Gravitic. Is it Gravitic or Gravitic? I want to say Gravitic Hammer. Sorry, not Gravitic Hammer. Gravitic Ring. And this, let's see, it reduces enemy attack speed and draws them closer to the center of the spell. Or sorry, closer to the enemy. The closer the enemy is to the spell, the greater the effect of the reduced attack speed and reduced movement speed. So this is really nice for battles where there's lots of enemies spawning in and you need to control them. So now at level 14, we're going to go back to our Primal tree and upgrade Stone Fist to Golem's Fist. And this brings in another ability for the rogues, or to use with rogues. Once your rogue disorients a target, you can hit them with a Stone Fist or Golem's Fist. Now, in this case, cause massive damage, which is also very useful. So now at level 15, we're going to go back. Whoops. We're going to go back to our Force Mage tree and grab Unshakable, which is a passive skill. I think that's our first passive ability for this entire what do you call it, builds. So this increases your fortitude, which again is very nice for mages and their survivability. Of course, they have low survivability. Their armor is like cloth. So uh, next we have at level 16, we're going to upgrade Chain Lightning to Chain Reaction, which once again brings in another thing from the warriors, staggered. So if warriors stagger an enemy, this will cause 600% damage. Huge, guys. This is huge. So now we're going to go back over level 17 and get Pull of the Abyss, which conjures a maelstrom of energy that draws enemies closer. It's really cool. Reduces, once again, attack speed, movement speed, incredible force, of course, because it draws them in. And basically, you can use Pull of the Abyss with Fist of the Maker, and it's just like, bam. You're just, I mean, your enemies will just, they'll quit. They're done. But then at level 18, we're going to grab Maker's Hammer, which upgrades. By the way, we're done with our Primal tree, so we're just going to be focusing on Force Mage for the rest of this build. So then you're going to want to grab Maker's Hammer, which, of course, upgrades Fist of the Maker, and it'll cause 900% against staggered enemies. So really, if you got a warrior with you staggering enemies, boom, Fist of the Maker with the upgraded Maker's Hammer, and they're done. And so then we have Gravitic Sphere, which increases the size of the Gravitic Ring. Very nice. And then, let's see, at level 19, it's either a toss-up, or sorry, level 20, it's either a toss-up between Telekinetic Blast and Edge of the Abyss. Edge of the Abyss is incredible. I really love this ability, but you can also go with Telekinetic Blast. It's really a personal preference. So I tried to keep this build as as short as possible, and we're over 12 minutes. So hope you guys enjoyed this build. And once again, mage builds don't have to be a certain way, I want to say. I mean, you can obviously make the suckiest mage you want to make if you try, but for the most part, mages are really, really, really good all around. No matter if you do Elemental, Primal, Spirit, Arcane, Entropy, Creation, or any of the specializations. Also, for your second specialization, you could either go Spirit Healer or Blood Mage if you need more health or you feel like you need more mana, but we're not going to be putting points into either of those. That's just for the specialization upgrades. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this build. Once again, please check out my channel. I've got like 7 more builds on my own channel for you guys to check out. So thank you for watching, and this has been JB2017, and I will talk to you later. Peace.